In this month of May in your year, I have promised that we will take up all the classes of May with one whole purpose, and that is for you to be able to gain a greater understanding and comprehension of meditation. And I will begin this evening with what and why. And the Son will follow through with the beginning preparations to make you an exceptional meditator. And so God bless you. God bless you, dear hearts. I will begin with this. You all know now, dear hearts, that the seventh golden age has begun on the earth. It is an era of 10,000 years, of which we're only in the opening month. It is an era of which tremendous spiritual upliftment and enlightenment will come upon all peoples of the earth. And ultimately, all peoples and all life and all creatures and all of God's kingdoms will become free of the darkness and discord that has so caused all life, including yourselves, to suffer in the past. It is a seventh golden age that offers a promise of victory and freedom, and the end of the consciousness of duality, and opening the door within yourself that the higher consciousness of perfection may once again express through your lives and out into the world. And therefore, over the many years, Akasha has overseen your messengers in developing a number of different types of classes and weekend events. The Tree of Life classes that occurs on most Wednesdays is a continuous opportunity to gain a mighty momentum of anchoring a strong spiritual foundation by constantly addressing, assimilating, integrating, remembering the fundamentals. And it is by that strong foundation of the fundamentals that are so important to anyone who discovers that they are a spiritual being, and how to create for yourselves a spiritual path that ultimately will lead you to your freedom. And this is what the Wednesday Tree of Life class is for, to constantly review the fundamentals. And hopefully Hassan and I will do so in a way that is creative, that you will never tire of. And so, precious hearts, this is what the Wednesday Tree of Life classes are about. And then we take you into the miracle classes and about building a miracle consciousness, and into the freedom classes where you gain great knowledge of the ascended masters who come and discourse with you and advance your knowledge of the rays of God and the flames of God. And then we move into weekends in which we can come together, withdraw our attention from the world, and focus on some great themes that bring about personal development, spiritual development, and themes in which we can gather for 3 days and come under such influence of great ascended beings who come and focus upon helping you to achieve everything that you are hearing in your enlightenment, such as our journey to Toronto recently, the door to everything, the soul. And then you have special weekends, such as Salt Lake City, in which Salt Lake City is dedicated to aligning with many of the Ascended Master conferences that are taking place right here on your planet, mostly in the Royal Tetons, sometimes over in Mount Shasta, sometimes in the great spiritual centers of England and India, and to update you on the interactions of the Ascended Host and the Seventh Golden Age. And other times we go off to Mount Shasta, and Mount Shasta has, for many of you, have come to be a place in your spiritual studies where you know that many students on a spiritual path will pilgrimage to Shasta, in much the way some years ago people would pilgrimage to India for some spiritual awakening. And for us, dear hearts, you know that our pilgrimage to Mount Shasta is now your connection. It's not only the place where the mighty Saint Germain, an Ascended Master, stood and made himself visible to some American people. It is also, Mount Shasta is a portal. It is a portal that many know. There are lots of rumors and there's lots of evidence, and there are people whose eyes have been opened and they have seen spiritual activities and even starships come to Mount Shasta. And so many understand that Mount Shasta is a portal to many great activities up in higher dimensions. But what many people do not know, and that's why we go to Mount Shasta, is that Mount Shasta is a portal to a kingdom that mostly in the past has been lost to legend and fairy tale. Mount Shasta is a portal to the elemental kingdom that several million years ago were driven underground. And because of this, most human beings do not even remember that these beings exist except in legend and fairy tale. And the elemental beings you've come to understand, yes, dragons, unicorns, fairies, elves. These are the elemental beings that oversee the powers of nature and the forces of the elements, Mother Nature. And so, of course, you have come to understand how important these beings are. And they were driven underground because there is so much discord in the surface, in and on the surface and atmosphere of the earth. Because there is also a great cleansing that is going on in the earth, and many peoples are spiritually awakening and becoming attuned to the beautiful energies of the elemental beings. Many of them are coming up, and more importantly, some of them, including Peter, the Pan, who is the overseer of Pan, is willing to start communicating with many of you, understanding that your own physical body is made up of the elements of life. So we have different themes, and of course, finally we have the great conclaves, in which students from around the world gather in truly a weekend that you can forget the outer world. Come into fellowship with your spiritual brothers and sisters in spiritual study, decree, and song. Yet here we are, back to a Tree of Life class. And for the classes of May, they are dedicated to the subject of meditation. Let's take a deep breath. So tonight, precious hearts, I would like to begin using one of a son's formulas that he presented a few years ago. It's a wonderful formula, and at any time in your life, you can apply this formula, which begins by asking a series of questions, and you can target this formula to any activity in your life. This evening, we will use this formula, what and why, regarding the subject of meditation. Please understand that we have 4 classes. Myself, and if I do not talk too much, a son can get in. And so we will have 8 transmissions, and we'll see how much we can cover. In going to the basics, expanding your understanding and comprehension, so that as we enter into June, that each of you have the ability to achieve meditation and open the door for all that can unfold in your life. Meditation. What and why? What is meditation? Well, that could be a subject that could last for a month itself. So I will highlight what I feel are some of the important points of what is meditation. Certainly we can understand it is a willingness to enter into a suspension of thoughts, a suspension of mental activity as far as the thinking process of the mind goes. It is a willingness to suspend the thinking activity and then use the mind as the open door to facilitate all your faculties and your feeling body and your physical body to moving into deep relaxation in that suspension of thought, with the realization your mind has many wonderful activities to it.